Okay guys, so welcome to your Ninja strategy video for Social Traffic Machine. Now the first thing I'm going to talk about is the importance of choosing a good niche. Now, whilst it's true that Social Traffic Machine can obviously work in any niche, no matter what type of website you have, you're always going to have a tremendous amount more success if you're in a niche that happens to be quite hot right now, or in something that's going viral that lots of people are talking about anyway. See, I think that in general, in my experience, a lot of newbie marketers make a mistake in that they sort of think of an idea first, something they want to sell or whatever, and then develop a site around that without really, thinking it through to begin with. So if instead of deciding that, for example, you wanted to sell something in the online gambling niche, and then creating a whole website around that, and then finding that actually no one's really talking about online gambling right now, that's kind of like the wrong way to go. What you should do instead is find what is hot and what people are talking about and what's got a buzz about it right now, because it's just going to be so much easier for you to grow a social following, for you to get traffic, for you to get people who are going to be enthusiastic and passionate about that subject. And to be honest with you, monetization isn't the hard thing. Getting traffic, getting social followers, getting a buzz about your site, that is the hard thing. Once you have visitors coming to your site, once you've got traffic, monetization is simple and straightforward. You can always find an offer, and in fact, you can always use AdSense as well, which I'll come back to later. So the first thing you need to do is identify a good niche. So how do I do that? So if I was to start creating a new site that I thought I wanted, to start getting some traffic for and start to monetize, first thing I would do is I'd use Google Trends service. So if you go to Google and then go to Trends. Now this will actually show you what people are searching for right now, what's hot, what are the latest trends, and it's a fantastic service that I recommend all marketers make use of. So go into Google Trends like this, it's trends.google.com, and go to here and then click Explore. And then you can see here, we've got some different options. So we can see worldwide in the past 12 months, a huge, huge trend. One of the biggest ones was Game of Thrones. Hence, that is why I built the example site on Game of Thrones, because it's clear that this is just such a huge, huge trending niche that it was going to be really easy to find visitors and create a buzz about my site. But I mean, there's loads of different things you could do. So, for example, maybe you wanted to focus in the United States. So we could do United States here, and then we could have a look for the past, say, 30 days. So you can have something that's really, really hot right now. So what's happening in the United States right now? Apparently, it's the World Series. So if you were to create right now a site focused on the World Series 2019. That would be something that, I'm sure could do really, really well right now and be so easy to find people that are interested in and talking about it right now. And you can expand that out to 90 days. And you can see, obviously, a big thing recently was the Hurricane Dorian. Now, perhaps you might want to create a website to do with that. You could perhaps make something about Hurricane Dorian news or Hurricane Dorian survivors, create a community for them. There's all sorts of things you can do if you can identify great trends. Now, it doesn't just stop there. It's not just about identifying trends. You also need, a big part of Social Traffic Machine is that you need to be able to enter content sources, good content sources. Because if you don't have good content sources, then you're not going to be able to get that daily that daily content posted to your social profiles that you need for your site to succeed. So the next thing is, after I've identified a possible niche, so if we just go back to worldwide, we'll have a look in. So here's something that's coming up. iPhone 11 is a new thing in the past 90 days. It's really a big trend. So we would go and have a look and see, is there any good iPhone related, blogs, basically, So obviously there's two different content sources you can add. There's YouTube videos, YouTube channels, sorry, and there's blogs. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go and have a look. iPhone blog. And we can see right here that, yeah, there seems to be loads of really good blogs that are going to make a really good... so what you want, ideally, is at least 2 to 3 different really good blogs. And more than that, you need to make sure that they're actually posting the full blog content to their RSS feed, because some blogs will only post snippets. They'll only post a little bit of the article, not the full article, to the RSS feed. And for a Social Traffic Machine to work, it needs the full article in the feed. So if we and the way you, by the way you can often find the easiest way to find a feed is you basically just go to a site, go to the main domain, and then just click enter feed in there, and then usually that will always find it. This one hasn't. What we could alternatively try is RSS. Now in this case, neither of those has worked. A third option is you can try and find the RSS feed symbol, which looks like that. So if we click that here, we can see here that this looks like a really good blog to use, because we're getting the full article, we're getting pictures, so this would be potentially a really good blog to use if we wanted to add as a content source if we were going to do an iPhone related site. You can see if we go back to the Game of Thrones example that you can see, sorry, you enter Game of Thrones blog, of course. And you can see here that if we look, say for example here, we can see that this looks like a potentially quite a good content source. And if we were to put feed in there, now don't get too worried about seeing it's all jumbled up like that. It's just the way some browsers display some feeds. The important thing to note is that all of the content is in there. So if we're looking in here, we can see that, look, we're getting images here. We can see images are included because there's a .jpeg file there. There's a .jpeg file here, and all of the content from that post. So if we go back to the post, where is it? All of the content from here, so if we continue reading, is in there. If we scroll down, you can see that the last sentence says, I read is not in blog form. So if we go back to there, and we can see here, I read is not in blog form. So we can tell that the whole of that article is going into the feed, so that makes it a fantastic source to build your site around. So basically, yeah, there's two things, guys. First of all, use the trends tool to identify a trend, something that you can build that's got a buzz about it. And then once you think you found something that it might be, might be a good niche that's got a real buzz about it right now, that's really trending, is to then go and make sure you've got good content sources. So I've demonstrated here how you can search on Google for a Google blog, so for example, for Game of Thrones blog, and then check that the whole thing is appearing in the feed, that the whole article. And if you've got both of those, if you've got good content sources with good feeds and all of the blog content appearing in the feed and a trend, you're onto a real winner that's going to really succeed. Another content source that you can, of course, add is YouTube channels. So to do that, you would go to here, and then we would just search for example, Game of Thrones. And I'd be amazed if we can't find a good channel. So we're going to filter these, and we're going to look for channel types, because that's what we need to add. And if you can see here that there are loads of really good channels. So this is an example of a channel that's posting lots of really good videos. So again, you could use this would be another great content source that we could add into Social Traffic Machine if we're focusing on Game of Thrones. The same thing can go if we go back to our iPhone example. I'm going to search here, and then we're going to filter, and we're going to search for channels. And you can see here there's loads of great ones here. So we could look at Apple, Everything Pro. Again, this is all going to be super great for any sort of iPhone related site that we wanted to do. So that's, I mean, to be honest, that's basically one of the main factors. There was a big reason why we chose to do Game of Thrones as an example. It was because it was such a super hot trend that it really was not going to be difficult to start getting traffic to our social profiles and to start building followers, especially when combined with the fact that we've got lots of great content sources and that we're going to be getting loads of great content to our social profiles. And the more, I can't stress this enough, the more really good content you have, then the more you're going to succeed and the easier you're going to find things. So find a hot niche, make sure you got good content sources. Right, next thing is when you're creating your social profiles, just got a little tip for you here. So if I'm just going to pause the video and log into my... Okay, so I'm now in my Facebook account. Now, the next important thing is that your page name, and this goes, I'm going to use Facebook as an example here. But you can use this exact same technique on Instagram and on Pinterest and on all the other social profiles. I'll just for sake of brevity, I will just do it on Facebook to talk you through this. To really push through getting the extra social followers and to give yourself a kickstart, you need to put a little bit more work in at the beginning just to get your first few followers, your first few fans in this case, through, who will then start sharing and talking about your profile to help really develop that viral spiral. So when you're thinking about what you're going to create, choose a page name. It might not necessarily be related to the domain name that you've registered for your blog, but choose a page name in this, or profile name that sounds intriguing and interesting. And a little tip that I found, that's something that works incredibly well. So in this case, we're going to do a community, and I will keep to the iPhone example. So we're going to call it iPhone, and that's the niche that we've identified at the top right now with the iPhone 11 being released, and then we just call it rumors. And people who are interested in this kind of stuff, people who are really passionate about whatever, about iPhones in this example, or Game of Thrones, they love rumors. It just seems that whenever I do this, whenever I create a page with iPhone rumors or Game of Thrones rumors, it just works so well. I mean, honestly, people just go crazy every time they see a page like that, and they're seeing remember, we go back to our content sources here. If you're seeing all this latest information being posted on a page with the name rumors, it just seems that people just really go crazy for it. So that's the next tip is, go for it. Whatever niche you've identified, whatever viral niche you've identified, think about making your page name intriguing. And of course, go ahead and put up a nice profile picture and a nice, related wallpaper. Just make your page look good and appealing to people. It all helps. And even take that a little bit further and make sure you put an interesting description. All these little things really do add up. So the next thing I'm going to just share with you, one final little tip about how to really get your page up and running and off the ground and give you an initial boost that's going to be really, really important. So, for example, let's go and search here now for Game of Thrones. And we're going to look for, search Facebook for Game of Thrones. And then we're going to find pages that are related to Game of Thrones. And we are going to find ones that have lots and lots of followers. So here's a one, 1.6 million, 1.2 million. This is something that we want to target. So if we go in here, and then what we need to do is just wait and find the posts. So where are the posts? Here we go. So, and then what we need to do is we need to switch to our to post as our site. So in this, for example, I can't find my Game of Thrones. I'm not sure why that's not appearing. But anyway, okay. So bad example. Let's go to let's have a look for iPhone, and we'll go to pages. And let's have a look for one that's got lots and lots of interaction. Maybe what we could do instead of iPhone is we could do Apple. So here we go. Unofficial Apple. So here's an example. There's 500,000 people that like this. So if we go in here and then and then have a look at the posts, and then just check that it's getting a lot of reactions. This is not a good example because there's just not much. There isn't much engagement here. What you want to find is a site with lots of engagement. So let's have a look. If we go back to maybe like the official Apple one, let's see what sort of engagement they're getting here. So you can see that, yeah, everything that's being posted here is getting just absolutely tons and tons of engagement, tens of thousands of engagements. So this is a site that we could really target. So basically, whatever we post here, it's going to get a load of eyes on it. So if we then choose to post as, say, I haven't actually created an iPhone 11 rumors page, but I'll just use this one as an example, iPhone 8 rumors. If I then type something like, it can be pretty inane, it doesn't really matter what it is. Post that. Then, all of the tens of thousands of people who have got eyes on this, thousands of thousands of people have got a good chance of seeing this comment. And they're going to see that, oh, it's posted by someone called iPhone, yeah, in this example, iPhone 8, but, you know, it would have been iPhone 11 rumors. So, oh, a fan page all about rumors about the iPhone 11. That sounds like something I might be interested in. So they then click through, go to your fan page that's got loads of great content being posted for you, relevant content that they'd be interested in. Bang, they'll like you straight away. And you can read, and by just identifying 2, 3, maybe 4 different fan pages that are in your niche that have got loads of great engagement like this, and then literally just spending 5 minutes a day for the first sort of week or so, just doing a few little inane comments like this, you'll be amazed at the start that can actually get you and how many fans and followers this can generate. And you can use exactly the same technique on all of the different social profiles, not just Facebook. And by giving yourself that jump start, it really, really does escalate your results, because it's the hardest thing getting any social platform, social profile off the ground is getting those first few followers that can start sharing your content, engaging with it. It's when the different profiles see that engagement, that's when they really the algorithms start to work in your favor, and it starts getting shown to more and more people, and it starts getting shared more and more, and like I say, really kicks off that viral spiral. So yeah, in summary, that's basically the sort of our insider tips on how you can really make all this work to your advantage. So in summary, basically find a hot niche. That's the key, number one. Make sure you've got some really great content sources for them. So that could be YouTube channels or blogs, and I could show you how you can identify blogs that are going to let you post the full article with all the images and everything to your site. Then create your social profiles in an intelligent way. Use a name that sounds intriguing. Remember, that's anyone that's seeing this who's kind of interested in the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 11, as it would be, they're going to look at that and think, wow, okay, so that's a fan page all about iPhone 11. I'm going to click through that and check it out. And that's just basically the way it all works. So those few tricks can make a huge, tremendous amount of difference for you. So I hope you found this strategy video helpful, and thanks very much for viewing it.